I saw you once, Maddie Schwartz. Before any of this began, I saw you. Alive. I was Cleo Johnson. But in my death, I became the lady in the lake.
I can't just be someone's wife.
You never wanted to do anything else.
I never tried to do anything else. Did you ever wonder why?
Your writing dreams ruined your life. Now you wanted those same dreams to rewrite it. But why did you need to drag my dead body into it?
How did you know?
Know what?
Where to find her?
My wife was a lot of things. There's one thing that she's not. That's foolish.
This is not your high school newspaper, Maddie. People's lives are at stake.
So what you gonna do? You gonna get that money and leave everybody behind you? I don't know. I don't know. Dreams push you down until you drown.
You wanted to tell everyone's story,
Unbearable sorrow.
but your own.
This is my quest to follow that star. No matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to be willing to die so that honor and justice may live.
Every time someone turns up dead in that lake, it does seem to lead to you.
When I'm away from you, I'm happier than ever. Wish I could explain it better. I wish it wasn't true. Give me a day or two to think of something clearer, to write myself a letter, to tell me what to do. I had a dream. I got everything I wanted. Not what you think. And if I'm being honest, it might have been a nightmare to anyone who might care. Thought I could fly, so I stepped off the golden.
Hey, not all of us living for Maggie J Reviews comment. She said them notifications working. We love when the notifications work. We really do. Welcome to this good old Lady in the Lake Sunday. Sundays are for Lady in the Lake right now. Episode 4 recap. I cannot wait because boy, when I tell you they trying this, I need y'all to run that chat up now because I'm already started from the beginning. That ain't Cleo in that water. That absolutely is not Cleo in that water, in that lake, and we are absolutely going to discuss why. Of course, I am not only on my platform, but we are streaming on all 5 of our platforms here. So if you could support, like, share, comment, super chat on all of them, that would be absolutely awesome. Breaking out my girl first with her sweet perspective, I would love to know what she thought about episode 4. Ashley?
Oh my goodness. They continue to get on my last nerve and they continue to surprise me, y'all. This left me with more questions than answers, and some stuff that tickled me and pissed me off. Overall, though, they're never going to fail us when it comes to the visuals, right? They're never going to fail us. They're never going to fail to make me laugh because I audibly laughed as well during this episode, and I know we'll get into it. But you know, bye Cleo or not. One way or another, it's bye Cleo.
Yeah, it's by somebody because you couldn't tell me. I think once I watched episode 2, because they really kind of work with showing it in shadows when Reggie's placing her in that lake. But my contention was it has to be Cleo, because if it's not, who else in the story could it be? But after this episode, child, I'm like, I think I know who it is. We're gonna talk about who it is. We gonna say that. We're supposed to say that. Definitely Dora, though. Bringing out King Nikki TV. You know what she gonna think about an episode. So we gotta clutch our pearls. Nikki, what did you think about episode 4?
I think the show is just getting better and better. I was obsessed with this episode. I'm mad I haven't had a lot of time to sit with it. I literally just watched it, but I gotta say, I'm Team Madeline now. I'm Team Maddie. I'm no longer hating Maddie.
Hold on. You just had to figure out a way to be divisive when I brought that, didn't you? You just had to come on with that there. Yeah. Also in the back, Kay with those books because she is reading all of them. Kay, what did you think about the episode? And do you think that Cleo is actually dead?
I know one thing. I will be listening to the Audible this week, because after that, I feel like I have more questions now, and I need to know some things, and I can't wait until the rest of the episodes unfold. I'm gonna need answers this week, so yeah, I'm gonna have to start listening to the book, going to the book.
Well, when you read that book, you see what you need to see. Don't come tell me nothing. I don't want to know nothing. Don't send no ooh-wees to the chat. Don't send no teasers, Kay. Save it. I want to be surprised. Last but not least, Steve Movie Man is in the back. I would love to know what he thinks about this episode, and if he actually thinks that is still Cleo being dumped in that lake. D.
I can sum up my thoughts on the episode as well as that question with 4 words: no face, no case.
Absolutely no face, no case. Before we dive right in, there are currently 45 people here in this chat. We love to see it. We would love 45 more. So if you guys could keep running it up with engagement, leaving us those comments in that chat, and also hitting the like button and telling a friend to tell another friend to watch this show, because we're talking about it. Not to even leave it off before we dive in. From the showrunners on down and a lot of people adjacent as far as support in this show, they have been showing us a whole lot of love on this panel. They have been showing us a whole lot of love on this panel. I've seen a writer, director, and then some actors just reaching out to let them know that they see us, they love what we're doing, and to keep going. So just thank you to everybody who has been reaching out, whether it's a like, a share, a comment, posting us on your story, making cute little montages of your friends, because we love to see it. We love to see it, and I just want to say thank you. Anybody else want to say anything before I dive into the episode?
I want to say one thing. I might not have as much as Tyra, but I got a little bit today. I got a little bit. Can we see my little bit?
I was being modest for Lady in the Lake, okay? We're not going to bring the titties into this conversation right now. This is a Sunday live. This is Sunday. Anybody else? Anybody?
I'm sick of looking at Maddie and Mr. Officer. I'm still over. I'm that's another reason I'm going to the book, because I need to know when it's going to be over.
Oh, it's going to be over. Too sweet.
Oh,
I can't. No, I'm done looking at them two together.
These were not the comments I expected, Chan. I'm sorry. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. We're going to move on and get on started with what we came here for. Oh, Lord, y'all are absolutely something else, and I love to see it. Studying Maddie in Operation White Coat when using feminine wiles goes wrong. From headshots to a typewriter, but I thought you were connected to me. How did you know where to find Tessie's body? And we also get into Stefan being a past park voyeur of many people, and it sounded like that included young Maddie, for all we know. I don't know. We don't know what was going on here. But I thought this was just so funny. And I'll be really wanting to like deeply feel something for Maddie, but we all know why she sent that headshot with her address on the back for him to write her back to entice Stefan into getting this sit down, and it kind of backfired, because not only is he currently studying and obsessing over her. He getting into her Jewish last name. Anything that Stefan could have access to know anything about Maddie behind these bars, he has found it. And as far as he's concerned, girl, what is the typewriter for? What is the notepad for? Like, I thought you came here to talk. I thought you came. He was giving, Tina Turner, come to see me. Okay, I gotta cry. Come to see me. I thought you was coming to see me. And I just did not feel at all sorry for Maddie trying to be really professional at this moment. But what I did love is that we got a lot of different insight into Stefan, and I couldn't help but think about Ashley, because Ashley's like, you know what? I feel something for Stefan. I feel like it's a soul, something deep back there, something soft, something innocent. And I saw Stefan here. I was like, where? Where? Not only do we have this, but we get into Stefan's past trauma and this Operation White Coat, to where he is clearly being tested on, and some type of things are being facilitated on him against his will, or whatever happened, and it's clearly affected him this entire time to get him in this current state. But Ashley, I am going to come to you first. What did you think about Maddie arriving here, and also what did you think about the information we found out about Stefan?
Baby, you get what you pay for. Maddie deserved all this smoke that she got throughout this episode from Mr. Stefan. And I stand on big business. He is still one of my favorite characters in the season. Like, listen, it is, right? And I, she went there expecting to use this pretty privilege to get under his skin, to get the recording, to get the information, and it goes in a different direction. I liked how they approach these governmental experiments for conscientious objectors, right? Because he says they were Seventh-day Adventists. They didn't believe. She tried to give him a little word. She tried to give him that Bible. She tried to give him a little bit of Jesus. You know what I mean? That's what Stefan tried to do when Maddie got there, but she wasn't feeling it. She wanted the story. I did feel sympathy for him talking about these experiments that he went to. We kind of see where the gas mask came into play. I honestly hope that we get more from him. And at the end of the day, he did a lot. He did less than what he could have done. I think he's got more sense than 95% of the people on this show.
Oh, most definitely. He has a whole lot of sense. My thing with Stefan was, if you're capable in thinking certain things a certain way, in that same breath, you can't then tell me, well, I would never hurt Tessie. I didn't do that. I don't know what you could possibly be doing. Nikki?
Well,
yeah, I loved this scene, how Maddie came in here trying to be Clarice Sterling, thinking she about to interview Hannibal Lecter. But I really love, like was said, the insight. And this is where I was kind of starting to sway a bit, like, am I gonna be on Team Maddie? Am I not gonna give her as much crap? And I really am Team Maddie now. And it was a mix of this scene and the flashbacks with Alan. In this scene, one of my favorite, I think the writing was so on point this episode, and one of my favorite is Stefan talking about having to pretend to be innocent. And I feel like I'm thinking about Maddie, her ambition, and how she talks about not wanting to be one of those girls out there in that little makeout area. And a woman in this time, ambition, maybe wanting to explore your sexuality, I feel like she had to kind of learn how to be this manipulative person, putting on this front, and everything that we've seen with Maddie. Of course, she's still just a terrible, a problematic white lady, but maybe not the worst. But I was kind of siding with Maddie, and even the whole situation of the theme of the episode being your innocence getting taken abruptly or violently. I feel like that's a common thread with our characters. I feel like Maddie, Cleo, Stefan, they all had their innocence violently, abruptly snatched from them. And I'm starting to I'm starting to see things through Maddie's eyes a little bit.
I love, that's the part of the conversation I love the most too. We are getting into Stefan and this structured religion and keeping the Sabbath, and did you keep the Sabbath? He also spent some time talking about, why did you decide to omit the Jewish last name? And just really reverting back to his experience in that innocence, purity, virginity, whatever. That didn't save me when I was met with cruelty. And I'm sure the same thing goes for not only him, but Tessie and also Maddie. But yeah, I'm still not Team Maddie.
But and like what you just said, like, you try to do everything right, but you still, like Maddie married a Jewish man, lived, I'm the virginal girl, and you do everything that societally women are supposed to do. I'm not going to sleep around, and things, you still aren't satisfied, and you still met with cruelty. I see her. I
see, I get it, and I'm waiting for the aha moment, because we know that Maddie is hiding something and shielding herself from something, which is why she's been pretending. I never tried anything else. This is why she's been pretending and shielding herself this entire time, and now she's trying to step beyond it. Whenever we see and it unfolds, what happened to Maddie, I'll be here for it. But right now, Maddie can get out my face. Okay.
Well, my name must be Stevie Wonder because I'm not seeing it. I don't see it. No. Soon as she got in there and said, wasn't there what'd you say, a colored man or a black man in the store with you? I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. No, she still don't get no sympathy from me. And then sitting there talking to him, she's looking for sympathy from him. And I'm like, you're missing the obvious, because he ain't wrapped too tight. But of course, she probably don't realize it because she ain't wrapped too tight either. And that's just what I'm with Ashley. She asked for exactly what she got in this episode. This is not your job. You are not a psychological profiler. You didn't go to school for this. You had no credentials to sit there and meet with that man. You are just trying to get external validation and revive a career to make a name for yourself, because you don't feel that good about yourself on the inside. And like that, you're using him and the people involved in this case to do something for your own self. She's not trying to help nobody but her own self. And it, fell back on her in the worst way. I ain't got nothing for you, Maddie.
Maddie is extremely self-serving, and of course we do see that she takes all of this Operation White Coat that she gets from Stefan, and she parlays this into a headlining story with Bob. Dee, what did you think about that? And also, before I leave it out, it does come towards the ending of the episode, but I wanted to put it here because it's mentioned. Alan Durst was clearly nobody's prize. You don't tell the other guys, stop. I never want to see you again. We have her flashback into this tussle, because that's what it was, child. This tussle in the park where she is, clearly stating that I'm not ready for that. And later we see this escalate, however, into Alan saying, I never want to see you again. But he is kind of leaving her in this state. And I'm like, well, if this isn't, because I think a lot of people in the chat are asking, what do we think exactly happens to Maddie? When we get into her tying back into this, telling Officer Platt that, she wasn't a virgin when she got married. That wasn't, her husband was the first man that she slept with. And then of course, Seth not being Milton's biological son, I feel like he was the product of a grape situation. Now, who did it? We don't know, but that's what I think it is. Dee, what did you think about Stefan, the whole thing, or even this situation here with Alan Durst?
Stefan, I think exploring his character and seeing his backstory, I'm a backstory person for sure, but I thought that was very surprising, because the assumption would be like, was it something his mom did to influence him? Was he born this way? And then we find out this whole other additional piece with these experiments, which a lot of us, if anyone has done any measure of researching, then that whole experimenting thing, that is definitely a part of history that people, I guess, kind of gloss over, but it definitely is something significant. So the fact that they even highlighted that with this character, with Stefan in particular, was wild. And I also, and it's not surprising, because Maddie is going to Maddie at this point, but it was still wild listening to her, I don't know, communicate with him. Like, I guess she just assumed because he had some form of instability, or she detected that she figured she would be able to just kind of make her way through the situation. Like, I'm the smartest one in the room. I can, and I'm pretty, and I'm all these things, and I can just smooth my way through this. And Stefan clocked her immediately. It's just like, so how is it? Where to find her again? So I like kind of just the role reversal, which isn't surprising, like I said, because this is Maddie. But I think even in the idea of what someone like Stefan would know or not know, or all this control and awareness he wouldn't have. And he was very, very clear and very straightforward in that conversation. And as far as Maddie and that situation, I'm not surprised. I knew it was something with with Durst, even when I can't remember who said it, but even when like with their interactions when we would see them before, and I knew it was something else, but even to see that escalate and circle around the way it did at the end of the episode was just like, there's a lot of audacity flying from a lot of these characters, including this one.
Does anybody think Alan Durst persisted in this moment, or was this it and he just walked away from her?
Oh, he did what he did. He's a predator. He violated her. I'm surely he did, but I think there were other boys too. She wasn't new to this. She was true to this. I think even back then, even if she hadn't gone all the way, I think there were moments, but I definitely think he violated her.
That's what I was
don't
thinking.
think that matters. Like, if there are other guys, I can sleep with as many guys as I want, but I'm telling you, no. Like, whoever I slept with, that's irrelevant. And he walked away upset. Like, I don't know if he went all the way, if he just dry humped her like an excited Doberman. I don't know exactly what they're going to reveal later, but either way, your daughter shouldn't have died, but F you at this point. Like, I don't care what he going through. You are like y'all said, he violated her. Like, this was so aggressive and violating, and oh god, and to throw in the other guy, the whole football team, but not you.
That's what I was thinking about too, when she is getting into innocence and just stating, oh, it was only this amount of guys. Not that the number of guys matter. It would just matter for me that even in this moment, maybe her thinking of Alan Durst as more so a prize that she wanted to pretend to be innocent and virginal for. So even if I have my share of whatever, as far as you're concerned, I'm a virgin and I'm not ready for that yet. Or just going into just how long Maddie had been pretending to be, anything but herself, or just maybe even thinking that the likes of Alan Durst wouldn't have her if she wasn't a virgin. But definitely disgusting individual. Once we seen this and I saw that in combination with the energy at the function that we are going to get into, I was like, sir, excuse me? Anybody else on this situation or Maddie?
No, again, and I'm not saying her past justified it. It just goes into her ability to lie, in my opinion. He was a predator. He was wrong, and I do think he violated her. But I also I think it's like what Tyra said. I think that she wanted to appear to be innocent to him, but I think she'd been there. But no, he was a violator. I believe he raped her in that forest.
Child, it's just absolutely the audacity of everybody. Everybody on this show is just carrying a whole lot of audacity. But what we are carrying right about now is 52 people in this live. We love to see 50 people. Let me show you guys some love, and we will definitely be right back.
Yeah, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I paint the town red. She devil, she bad, she rebel. Take a whole lot from you, she devil, she bad, she rebel. Take a whole lot from you, yeah. Said my happiness is all of your misery. I put good all in my kiddiness. This smart gel don't come with no jealousy. My illness don't come with no remedy. I am so much fun without Hennessy. They just want my love without penalties. I'm your if you send for me. I'm going to glow up one more time, trust me. I have magical foresight. You gon' see me sleeping in courtside. You gon' see me eating 10 more times. Ugh, you can't take nowhere. Ugh, I look better with no hair. Ugh, ain't no sign I can't smoke hair. Ugh, yeah, give me the chance and I'll go.
Absolutely. Maddie said if she want to put good D all in her kidneys in her apartment, that's her business. Moving to the next slide. Oh, D, I love to unsettle D on a good day. Now, of course, I told you guys already that we were going to get into some questions to see who's really watching the show. Because you think people be watching the show, but they're not really paying attention to the small details. I am going to come to someone in particular, and if that person happens to get it wrong, I will come to somebody else. What were the winning numbers and what percentage did Cleo offer the beautician? Was it 266 and 20%, which is A, B, 366 and 10%, C, 266 and 15%, or D, 366 and 20%? Nikki, I'm gonna come to you.
I'm out, y'all. This been fun. It's been real. Bye. Why you gotta come to me?
Because is it A, B, C, or D? What were those winning numbers? And see, you got it right. See why I couldn't come to you?
Because you've been trying to get payback.
Not. I am coming to you. Like I thought it would be fun, and I wanted to see who was paying attention. And that is correct. When we have that conversation with the beautician, and when we have Reggie run those numbers and say you need to be gone by Christmas, it's 366, and she offers her 20%. There are no prizes for these games. It's merely for my entertainment. Good job. Good job. All the way. Nikki did what needed to be done. She was paying attention in the episode, and we love to see it. Love to see y'all putting them answers in the chat too. Dark Lady number 366 and involving Teddy. Cleo bets on a beautician's dream and 20%. 3 mice in the same boat. Who would I be if I stopped waiting for my daddy? Now this here, I was like, all right, I am absolutely not here for Cleo involving Teddy in any of this mess. From the looks of it, it's like, why does Teddy even really need to be here? I can understand when she wanted to get into how the numbers were running, these days, or who's like, but to the extent of bringing him here or just saying, this is between me and you, no, we're going to leave this baby alone. You chased him down about 3 episodes and beat him up for even doing this in the first place. But now if it's benefiting you, you're okay with it. Fine. But we also meet this beautician who is clearly familiar with Teddy in the numbers man, but not so familiar with Cleo. Even when she gets to the door, it's just like, okay, they are not familiar. So to involve her in something so serious, I was like, this is a risk. But she is feeling like, as a Black woman, this is, us benefiting each other. You get to get, the beauty shop or whatever of your dreams. All you have to do is place this bet and keep your mouth closed. But I also like when Cleo gets to reflecting on her father, and we get to see just how tortured Cleo is. Cleo is a very tortured individual, and she has a lot of resentment towards her dad. The fact that she's been waiting or wondering this whole time why he left or if he would come back is just really, really sad. Dee, I'm going to come to you first. Do you think this was a smart decision? And what did you think about Cleo referencing her dad?
I mean, it was a decision. If nothing else, I think I understood where she was coming from in doing that. Yeah, it's just that knowing how deep the situation runs with the numbers. I know it helps cast a wider net, and so it's not just her and not just Reggie, and it's involving other people, but there's just always room for error. And because we see that obviously something goes awry at some point, I'm just curious as to whether that ultimately was the right decision or not. And then again, it might be, because there are questions about who we actually saw at the end of the episode. And then as far as Cleo and her thoughts about her father, it just comes back to that statement about at what point, innocence gets disrupted, and it's not a slow thing, but it's something that's, instantaneous. It's violent. It's all these things. And for her, that has been the one event that is so clearly shaped her life. And it's one of those things she can't bring herself to really get over. And even what we see as far as her interaction with her mother, we see there are other factors adding to that as well.
Absolutely. Which begs the question as to why we would bring Teddy. Kay, how did you feel about this? Is this a smart decision involving this beautician that she really doesn't know?
I'm like, not Cleo. Now she knows she's going down fast, and she knew that by the way that she was trying to say her, sly, low key goodbyes to her family, that this was going nowhere fast. So if you know you going down here, why are you taking people with you? Like, why are you involving unnecessary people into a mess that you made? And what are you teaching your son as you are continuing the cycle that was passed down to you from your own father? And I'm like, are you really trying to survive here? Are we making smart decisions here? Is she thinking about the impact on others here? I really want to know I wish that there was a dialogue while she was doing all of this, because I really want to know what her thought process was. Because the whole time I was just like, this is not going to go the way that she wants it to go.
I don't know. I just wish it was somebody she was a little bit more familiar with, to be a little trusting, but not to make it so obvious that this might be a setup. Because I understand why she's doing this, but it just felt a little shaky. Nikki?
Yeah, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think that Cleo is moving exactly like Maddie. I think that neither one of them consider the collateral damage to the decisions that they are making. They have, this is the goal, this is what I want, need to do, etc. And this is the people I need to do it. That's it. They're not thinking about any collateral damage, how any blowback. I think it is. I get she may not have a lot of options. I feel like she should have just ran the hell away with Dora when she asked F the money, F placing the bet, run away with your friend, help her get clean. Baby, y'all will survive. Like, go
that's
be
what I said.
like, literally.
Get a black dog. Get one of them black dogs.
But I feel like it was really not smart to involve this lady, because the lady is the one who placed the bet. She's the one who picked up the money. First of all, you had to trust that you was even going to be able to get that meetup to get the money. I would think that's how we had to do it. But then also, we know what we're dealing with to the point that we have to flee the city. Why would I involve this lady? If she's the one who placed the bet, I feel like if it's rigged and Shell rigs it, it's going to be easy to trace this to her. And Reggie, if Reggie tries to take you out and he needs to plug holes, and he would take her out too. But when it comes to her dad, yes, she is tortured with her dad, but I don't know if it's a disconnect. I don't get it. That man left you in the dust. I like, what do you mean you've been waiting for him to return? Like, ain't she in her 30s? Like, why are you still waiting for? I don't know. Maybe it's a disconnect. I'm not getting that part, but I just hope this poor lady get to get her salon and grow old, because my theory is it's either Dora overdose and she the girl in the blue coat in the river, or it's this lady. She in the river. One of them.
Ashley?
Yeah, that lady's a goner. I think she delivered on her end of the deal, right? Because we see Cleo at the end with her bag, with her suitcase. But I think this is like indicative of deeper issues, right? In the beginning, we had this Cleo who was very concerned about the well-being of her son, right? I don't want him in this life. I don't want him in the streets. To now, when it's down to the wire and I need to live, I'm going to not just get the information from you, right? Because she questioned him last episode, but now I'm going to take you on this field trip with me to go and do this dirt. And it's really sad. And I mean, in this moment, you've made him mature, right? Leaps and bounds. You've put him in the place where he was already trying to act like the man of the house. And then I think the dynamic with her dad, while she's older, I kind of get it. She left with unresolved issues, believing it was her fault that her father left. And from the conversation we see later with her mama, we can tell that there was a fracture and a strain in her relationship with her mom. I think her dad had been her safe place, and her leaving town now, she feels like she's betraying him in some way. It's not logical, right? Yeah. But a lot of people's issues and traumas aren't logical at all. Cleo, I believe Nikki said it, is a lot like Maddie. Like we saw the parallels first episode, but this just pushed it home, right? That I don't care about anybody. I don't care about my son in this moment. I don't care about Dora and her about to OD and Reggie being abusive and a monster. I don't care about none of that. I'm just trying to get this bag and I don't care about this hairdresser who's ultimately going to be unalived by Shell or Reggie or both of them. Like, you know what I mean? it was sad, and I hate to see the de-evolution of Cleo. Like, this has been sad to watch.
Child, I knew Cleo wasn't about nothing when she held Dora up in that room and said, "What you gonna do? Kill both of us?" Yeah, when we decided to use Dora in that capacity, and we're leaning closer into our children, getting him to do something we forbid him and whooped him not to do, I was like, all right, Cleo is not who I thought she was. We were led astray, bamboozled. Plymouth Rock. Like, why did you do this, girl? Getting into Dora. Did Dora overdose? I'll come find you in Paris. Beautiful voice, but codependent and addicted. I'll lock you in this room if I have to. Now, I think we all pretty much seen this coming with Reggie. He could escalate to having this type of temper towards Dora. But later on in the episode, we also have Cleo come visit her in this room, and it's just pretty much, I know I can't do this on my own, but I still want to go to Paris and get away from all this and get away from Reggie. Can you just come with me? Why wouldn't you come with me? Because what exactly is your plan? And Cleo is making this up as she goes along, because I don't know. What does this mean for your children? What does this mean for, anybody, your circumstances? What if you get found out by Mr. Gordon and he just takes you out? I don't know, which is never the great plan to have. But with the state that we have Dora in this episode, and with how similar Dora and Cleo look body-wise, it's getting me into why we have been completely disgruntled and just stank attitude with Cleo for not taking that coat off. Like, baby, why are you still wearing that coat? Why is she still in the coat? We've been yelling to the mountaintop. Why Cleo still have that coat on, girl? That is evidence. We have that coat on because it is a distinctive marking. If we happen to find someone in the lake with this powder blue coat, we're going to automatically think that it's Cleo, and it's not. I seriously think all those beyond the grave notations we thought we were getting from Cleo, and why did you have to use my dead body? No, it's like, why did you have to bring this up, girl? I was off living my best life. You are blowing my cover by making this a story. That's where I'm at with it. Ashley, I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm still struggling with the idea of what does Dora know and what doesn't she know. I think we also get some imagery, possible OD with Dora, right? And I'm just sitting here like, girl, like, I don't know if I'd be taking advice from Dora. I think, and I get it, that's your friend. I always wanted you to sing on stage with me, Cleo. I get the beauty in the friendship. The one kind of note I would have for Dora's character is I would want to see more moments of her sober and lucid, because again, I don't know who she really is outside of either singing on stage or being high, right? I would have liked to get a little bit of balance, but maybe that's what addiction looks like. Would it have been a good idea to go with Dora? Probably not. And we know that Cleo is in her survival selfish era. So no, I don't think she was going to bring this heroin addicted woman with her on this journey that she'd have to take care of, and possibly bring more heat, because Reggie is clearly unhinged. And, it seems like one of those battered situations with him and Dora. So I don't knock Cleo for this one, for not going off with Dora. I think that would have been a bigger responsibility.
Poor Dora. Reggie seems to be the one aspect of Reggie's current life that he can control, and he is trying to control it. Not just so much like leave with Dora, but just leave in general. Just leave. Cleo is here like, I can't work or get a job anywhere unless it's in Baltimore. No, girl, you can go work anywhere. You can prosper anywhere. Like, girl, just leave. Like, not with Dora. You don't have to leave with Dora, but just go. Just go. That was always an option. Nikki?
Yeah, I'm not understanding having to play them numbers. Like, you can just get a bus ticket and just go. But I very much feel like going with, it's like a series of the least dumb of the dumb decisions. Yeah, going with Dora may not be a smart decision, but I personally think it's the smartest option she got, because I just feel like, why would I? And then the whole thing of Reggie saying, oh, I want to cut now. You cannot burn my house down and then ask me for a cut of the insurance money. Like, something for me would feel suspect. Like, what do you mean? If I already have the money, I'm not finna stop on the way out of town to meet you and give you money. I'm getting out of town because of what you put. You strong-armed me to get me in this situation by lying and said the order came from somebody that didn't come from, I feel like I'm finna look at Dora and say, look, we finna call the folks from intervention. We about to get up out of here. We gonna get you clean today. Like, let's just go. Like, let's just leave. Let's not involve your son. And I feel like the whole overarching theme of innocence, she's kind of doing the same thing to her son, even though he was in this thing. The whole, I don't, me personally, I don't like the whole, this gonna be between us. So now you're teaching your son to, you know, keep secrets and do stuff underhanded and shady, and he can't tell what his father. Now that's creating a issue over there and a disconnect with his dad. If you up and disappear and what, he never tells his dad anything about this, now you're abruptly taking his innocence away. So that's why I feel like, no, it may not be smart, but I think it's the smartest and least collateral damage to leave with Dora. Then we don't involve our son. Then we don't involve the hairdresser lady. But Dora, either the girl in the blue coat, she OD'd, or it's the hairdresser. I was trying to look at the hairdresser lady body, like trying to see if the body type is like. And I noticed they made it a point when she went to say, when Cleo went to say, oh, I wear wigs, and when he dumps the body, I feel like the hair, we couldn't see the hair. The hair was kind of covered up. So I'm like, she normally wear wigs. Is this her?
It's not. It's not. Thought you had us. You did. It ain't her. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, because how Dora need a lot of support to do what she do. So I'm not exactly sure if she made it to her destination, but if she didn't, then are we going to explore where she is at that point? Are we just going to assume that she left, or is it somebody's going to be alarmed because she's not in a state to actually function on her own? But I definitely think that Cleo probably should have just went with her because Dora said she got a job for her. She said, come on stage. You can say, let's do this. You ain't got to have them 8 jobs that you work at every single day, going to work at all these different places. Just come on. Let's go. And Cleo in her mind just has a plan, a half-cocked plan, walking around with this blue coat on. She got on my nerves this whole episode. Why do you still have this jacket on? They told you, they seen you in the jacket, and she's still walking around. And I'm tired of Reggie and his old raspy voice having self. He got on my nerve, sitting in the car, just sitting there crying and stuff like he feel bad about his life choices. No, you don't. Bye, Reggie.
And not bad about his life choices. D.
I agree with Kay. It's really tough to put up with Reggie and his asthma, especially as we continue on throughout the show. But you know, these are the circumstances. Now, a small part of me has a little bit of affinity for Dora. I feel empathetic, and she's really captured me with these musical performances. But I will also say this isn't from a personal perspective, but addiction is a lot, and withdrawal and overcoming addiction, like that's not even just, we know it's not an overnight thing, but it's also a lifelong thing. It's like a continuous process. And so I feel like trying to resolve that and deal with that situation in the midst of trying to like get out of Dodge, I'm not quite sure how that would work. And I think when it comes down to it, Cleo isn't even in the mindset, even if she wanted to really, to really support Dora or really take that on at all. Especially if her kids aren't even going to be in the mix. Like now she has to take care of this grown woman with this addiction issue. And I just think with Cleo, like for some women, it's a hot girl summer, and for Cleo, it's a crime chick Christmas. So it's not going to work.
Thank you, D. Yeah, it's either that or in the walls of this relationship, Reggie did something to her. But I really don't think Dora makes it out. Was that a white girl threat? Platt keeping his word and Davis killed in pursuit. Baltimore's first black homicide detective. I put all right, Miss Mamas, you better pop them balloons at the top. Girl, you better pop them balloons at the burlesque function. She better pop them balloons. I was living my life. So we have for the most part, Platt keeping his word. He does mention to Davis why they're there and who he maybe got it from in the essence of this blue coat, but he doesn't state outright that it's Cleo or whomever, have given him information to be here. But I think this was also solidifying that Platt didn't know about his partner more so being dirty and underhanded and taking money. And just to kind of bring it up here, it just felt like his partner was also saying, well, when he seen the the pigeon man with his white woman in the car, like, yeah, every time a brother, climb up the ladder, he gotta have, they gotta give him a white girl. Ain't that right, Officer Platt? Like, you know about the white girls. Like, don't mention anything to me about anything underhanded that I'm doing when you're not clean either. You have dirt also, and I know about it. So whatever you might think you know about me, you keep it to yourself. But in the pursuit of the pigeon man with homegirl that was popping the balloons, Officer Davis gets shot, and I thought he was just gonna he got shot down dead, like square blank, and he was gone. At which we have Officer Platt be embraced and honored in this moment, and becoming, endorsed by Miss Murder herself as the first Black homicide detective in the making. Kay, I'm going to come to you first. What did you think about this situation?
All of this is just making Mr. Officer think that he is just Mr. All that and then some. He is really in the position that he's thinking that blue is covering up his black. And as we know, we see you. It's some people that got their eye on you, and he's just thinking, oh, he living his best life. He's getting recognition. He got his little. I'm gonna climb up the fire escape to see my woman every night, and I'm cracking these cases and stuff. That blue is not protecting your black behind. And the sooner that you realize it's not, you actually might make it out of this. But the way he's going right now, I don't have high hopes for him. He's riding high real good right now. He is really on a high horse. It's not going to be long before he gets knocked off of it. And I'm not going to feel bad.
I just can't believe he's in pursuit of anything higher. If this was your ambition, why would you ever risk it by running around with the likes of Maddie or many of the other, maybe countless white women that you were running around with in the first place?
He thinking that the blue is covering it up. He's just like that nobody can see his old dark tail walking around here. Like y'all just gonna see the blue and not the black blue around here. We see it.
Shout out to the 70 people here in this live. We love to see it. Keep engaging and keep running it up. Nikki, were you here for Officer Platt?
I said, I think after the first 2 episodes that I didn't think anything tragic would happen to Officer Platt. I said he might lose his job, but I'm changing my tune. Officer Platt going down fast and hard. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. But I also feel like this was also a part of me kind of opening my eyes more to Maddie. I feel like there is a common connecting thread through every single character. And when he was talking to Maddie about how his ambition got a man killed, Maddie has ambition and she will trample on anybody in the way. She will use somebody's dead daughter. Like, there's a common thread of basically ain't none of the characters really ish. Like, they all kind of terrible people.
Right.
But
Correct.
Officer Platt, I really don't think they announced that, he will soon become the first Black, detective in Baltimore. I really don't think he's gonna see that. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm sorry, little baby, but you're not gonna be the first. We're gonna have to wait maybe another generation to finally get us a Black detective, because it's not gonna be Officer Platt. But I feel like it might come down to where he's involved in trying to solve this crime. And we already saw how, Mr. Gordon and his people looked at the news like, why couldn't it be Officer Platt that died? I don't even think that's what's going to get him caught up and killed. Of course, obviously, it's going to be him dealing with Miss Madeline, because we saw who was outside her house like a creeper, watching him climb and slink down the fire escape. And I don't know why it didn't dawn on me. I guess because we live in present day. Like, obviously the show is in the 60s, but it didn't even dawn on me that it's illegal for him to be with the white woman. I'm like, why the hell didn't that dawn on me? So yeah, I take back saying nothing tragic will happen to Officer Platt. Him and his sideburns are going to go down hard.
I think last episode we were discussing that we thought the Loving case had already happened and it wasn't legal. No, the Loving case had not happened yet. This is very illegal, which begs the question of why. Ashley,
Yeah, the Loving case was 1967. So a year later, they didn't stand a chance. But yeah, I was here. Listen, I loved these moments. I was sad to see the dirty cop go. If I can be quite honest with you, when he said, "Oh yeah, they get these YT tramps," I fell out laughing and then gonna nudge him. Ain't that right, Platt? Ain't that right? You know about that, young boy. You know about it. That tickled me to no end. And I said, okay, so they're there, and then Birdman comes in, and they're chasing Birdman. And I said, Daniel, for all this time you spend smashing them pancakes, running up and down fire escapes, there is no way Big Boy is outrunning you. Okay. And so finally, when they get to the burlesque and I see girl dropping it on every single balloon, I was getting everything I needed. I didn't know they did this in real life, y'all, until Tyra said, oh no, this is a thing present day. I might have to go see a balloon show because she was giving all the things with that balloon and that needle or whatever she had. Platt's asking for it. And he's going to get it because there's no way you would still be going up that fire escape. It's a black building. Why can't you go through the front door, sir? This isn't the service entrance. Like, I don't understand that concept. I don't understand why we're still struggling with that situation. And I agree with whoever said it. I don't think he's going to live long enough. That detective is the one that was bullying him in the station. He's already a creep. And my question is, who told him? Who told him? Why are you outside of Maddie's apartment?
It was Judy.
I'm just saying, because you've been sitting there ever since she moved because you want to be her knight in shining armor, or did you get tipped off? And if it was Judith, I told y'all I ain't like Judith. But yeah, go on with your bad self, Platt, but not for much longer. He's a goner. Mark my words.
D, it was Judith. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, I love a good chase sequence, I must say. But Davis literally and figuratively catching a stray bullet was not on my bingo card for this episode. And I think the fact that this now puts, I don't know, this adds, I don't know, fuel, I guess, to Platt's, I guess, possible ascendance in the field. There already are enough issues complicating that, but I do think this whole thing with Maddie is just nonsensical, and much as everyone else has said, I'm confused about the whole fire escape thing as well. I'm like, is this some kind, you get a thrill, from sneaking in? Is it like some kind of, is it a continuation of the whole role play thing? Like I don't know, like I'm sneaking into your spot on the low and no one knows, I don't know what that's about. But it's very obvious, as was also said, that Officer Platt is going down, baby, yo street in a Range Rover.
And I'm a laugh.
The cop ready to let it go. Shimmy, shimmy, go, pub. That was what he said. He was. Because why are you doing that? Why? Why? Of course, with this situation happening, we also get a little time with Reggie, who was like a son. It was all good just a week ago, and you were like a son up until I find out that it was you not only messing up the situation, but you sent Cleo. But it's too late for us to go back. You need to get rid of cancel Christmas, as they would say in the Power Universe. Cancel Christmas on Cleo by Christmas Eve, or it's you or her at this point. However, just the way that Reggie was looking, Reggie looked tired. Reggie looks really tired. Like every 5 minutes, I gotta collect the body. Reggie, real strong, to be such a little guy. Reggie he just seems a little tired. So I didn't automatically take it as a setup when he told Cleo, this may be, my way out too. I changed my mind. I do want some of that money. From the way that Mr. Gordon was looking at him, you can tell that has just kind of been the push and pull with their relationship. If you mess up, son, in any given way, you are as expendable as anybody else here. So fix it before I fix you. Ashley, I'm going to come to you first. First of all, the rooftop scene was beautiful. Shout out to all of the imagery there. I love that. But yeah, how did you feel about Mr. Gordon and his threat towards Reggie?
Shell disappointed me. Mr. Wood Harris, sir, I'm disappointed in you. You'd have known Cleo since she was little Cleo. You knew that girl since she was a baby. And it was not let me bring her in, let me talk to her. It wasn't let us have a kumbaya moment. Let me see what she's gonna do. Let's see how she's moving. It was no, I want her eliminated. All right. And he said, well, what she got kids? She gonna bring the kids. He said, F them kids. There will be no angel of mercy for you. Started bringing up biblical reference. I mean, we talking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I said, Shell Gordon, you are diabolical. This is an innocent woman that Reggie set up for the okie doke. Like Cleo ain't gonna tell. If you would go to Cleo and be like, Cleo, you better not say nothing, and run her a couple bands, Cleo wasn't gonna say nothing. Shell, you ain't have to. He didn't have to be this gutter bucket, and I hate that for his character. And Reggie's false, oh, I'm so, and even in this moment, it's not like he really took accountability and responsibility for it. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna cry about it. But honestly, now that I think about them tears weren't for Cleo, them tears for Dora. I'm over it. I ain't like it. I ain't like Reggie's move. Cause be a man about it, sir. Just be a man about it. And Gordon disappointed me. He did.
I expected nothing less from Mr. Gordon. You don't get into the position that Mr. Gordon has got into with clean hands without catching a couple bodies. If the daddy ain't mean nothing, the daughter sure don't mean a damn thing. He is here to collect funds and checks, and that's about it. If you get in the way of that, I will shank you, fool. Nikki?
Yeah, I was disappointed with this scene because I'm like, baby, Shell, if you're not about to toss this fool off the roof, I don't even know why we meeting up here. I wanted Reggie tossed off the roof, but
it was to set the scene, Nikki. It was a threat.
I wanted him tossed off because it's really pissing me off that this is literally all Reggie's fault. This is Reggie's mistake. This is his screw up. You the one wanted to. Why was you buying fish for? Like, you the one wanted to hop up in that damn aquarium or whatever fish shop and buy fish and be seen talking to the little girl. Like, everything is Reggie's fault, but everybody has to pay the consequences except Reggie. Like, all the guys hired for the job gotta die. Cleo gotta die, but Reggie get the skate. Everybody is paying for Reggie's mistake, and it is irking my nerves so freaking bad. I need him to get his comeuppance, and I completely agree with Ashley. Reggie would cry over that fish he put in the toilet before he would cry over Cleo. Absolutely, positively, he was not in that car crying, saying the F word, and hitting the steering wheel because of Cleopatra. Like, no way, Jose. But I feel like everybody is expendable. They have to be. If you are Shell, if you Frank Lucas, if you like, everybody has to be expendable. I don't put it past Shell to have Reggie clean the mess up and then take Reggie out. Like, I don't put that past him. Like, we got to tie up all loose ends, and this is all your fault.
Absolutely. D.
There is more I need to know as far as Reggie and Shell's relationship. Like, how did this begin? What is the backstory? Is there something like, is this a parental relationship? Is this like a adopted, community mentor mentee relationship? Like, what like, were you rescued for something? Like, I need to know more as to why, like, this because this obviously is a dysfunctional relationship, and we know that Shell is the one who's in power here, but something is there for Reggie to, and even the way he positions himself when he's in Shell's presence. Yes, I know part of that is fear, but it's almost like he becomes almost childlike in a way. Yeah, like he kind of like just kind of devolves in a sense when he's around him. So I really want to know. I don't know if we'll touch on that, but I would really love to know that. And I agree. It's just like Reggie like initiates all of this, and I don't know. There seems to be like this recurring theme with like the snowball effect and then like falling dominoes. It's just like all these consequences, or even like ripples from a puddle. It's like someone throws something in the wrong direction, and then now all these consequences reverberate as a result of that. So yeah, so I definitely agree, and I'm not surprised that Shell had this reaction, because as we well know, there's no honor amongst thieves.
Okay, will Mr. Gordon hit Reggie with the 1-2 hit a quitter? Will he do that?
Look at his face. He didn't. There was nothing in him that said, "I feel sorry for Cleo" at all. She worked for me. She did a good job. She was also a good girl. And one little thing that's not even her fault, and she got to get the axe. That no, it reminded me, one of the Halloween movies where the guy was taking care of Mike Myers his whole life, and he was just like, you know me, little Mikey, I've been here the whole time, and he offs him anyway. Like people like that, I don't care if I knew you your whole life. Like if you messing up my money, and if I'm gonna have to go, if it's gonna affect me, anybody can go. Reggie he can go too at this point. Somebody in the chat said he need an inhaler and some cough drops. Okay, he need a little bit more than that too. With them crocodile tears, he was sitting there crying in the car. I don't believe none of that. I was like, if you don't get it, bye, drive off, do what you got to do, and no, he just a trip, but sitting there like he gonna have a moment where he was the cause of all of this. Child. Now you want pity for everything that you have done. Now you want it, Mr. And he knows that he probably seen Shell do some really gruesome things to the people that's really close to him. So Reggie he's on some real thin ice, and watch your back, my boy.
Them tears was for Dora.
Them tears was for them fish he flushed down the toilet.
Let's see. D, I am going to come to you. What is the name of Maddie's newspaper column? A, Miss Hotline. B, Miss Housekeeping. C, Miss Helpline. Or D, Miss Molly the Maid?
I mean, it's unfair that I can't choose D, but hopefully I did. Hopefully I heard it correctly. Is it C, Miss Helpline?
Yes, it is. It is C, Miss Helpline. Tell me we ain't watching the show when we be watching the show. Thank you, D. We two for two now. That's what we do over here. We watch stuff. We pay attention. Y'all down in the comments. Yeah, y'all got it wrong. Some of you. Not so fast, Skeeter. This ain't the help. Maddie's big story, but still a mere mention. Bob taking full advantage, and 2 tickets, receptionist/assistant, a start for Miss Helpline. Now, this whole scenario reminded me so much of The Help. With Skeeter, she's trying to be taken serious as a journalist and a writer, and they assign her that maid cleaning column, and then she uses Minnie and them and Viola Davis to get her foot in the door and write some real stories because she's not being taken serious in the office. This reminded me so much of that. But we have, first of all, child, when she asks, I think the man in the restaurant, I think his name is Eric, and she asks him, do you read? What we're not going to do is ask a black man in the 60s, do you read? What, do you read the paper? No, girl, read. Say it again, Maddie. Say it to my face. But her name is mentioned in this column that is just not the column, the paper, this article that is just really doing a whole lot of buzz at the Baltimore Sun, but she doesn't really get to take full credit for it as she should because Bob's name is on it and she is still a mere mention. But she's fine with that. This is the step I need to get my foot in the door. Let me bring the boss, some sweets, a treat. Let me get in there and talk to him. Bob stops her right at the door, like, no. Trying to get in her way, but also giving her a pat on the back and a desk in a position to just kind of suffice. And I think he would put her only in this position to maybe use Maddie later on if it does. And he's going to try to repeat it again because I'm getting all the praise and the attention. Hey, come on, I'll make you a mere mention instead of you getting in there and talking to the boss directly. First of all, this is the first time we have when she does get these tickets, take somebody. I don't know, but what you was gonna do with these tickets? You was gonna take Maddie to the game to do what, Bob? To do absolutely not. That along with him saying, you know what, just maybe take your son for the first time. Maddie getting on her knees to tie his shoes bothered me so much. Maddie getting on her knees to tie Bob's shoes made me itch. Absolutely not. But we do have her not only having to work underneath the likes of Bob, it's giving This Is a Man's World. We get into who she'll be working under for the Miss Helpline. And it's, you get the blunt work, the stuff I don't want to do if I feel like giving you that at all. But in the meantime, get my coffee. Kay, what did you think about this?
You know what? Y'all ain't never going to get me to like Maddie at this point because it's just, every step she make is just a step in the wrong direction. I just do not like how she moves. That comment about, do you read? Then she gonna be like, I meant the newspaper. No, you know what you meant when you said that. Okay, she just tried to clean it up because she thought she might get smacked for a second and tried to clean it up. She knew what she meant and just trying to doing that just to see if she could get some more brownie points with this. Girl, you are not Peter Parker. Get out of that newsroom. No, nobody wants to hear your story. You're there as a pawn, but in her mind, I just need a little piece of nothing so I can go brag to some people who actually really don't care about you. Because at this point, the community that she's trying to get all these accolades from, they've actually already rejected her at this point. So what is it all for at this point, Maddie? What is it? What is the end game? What is it for? Nobody likes you right now except Officer Platt.
I want to know the end game too, because I know she didn't come from up underneath the likes of Milton or this oppression from the Manses, and I never tried anything else to get in here and only have to work underneath and answer to a bunch of men who are, Bob, where you was going with them tickets? The people would love to know. Nikki?
Yeah, I was watching this episode like, girl, I was trying to like you. When she went to that black man, it was definitely given. Were you sneaking books in the slave quarters? Do you know how to read? Like, I was just like, lady, all you had to do was say, hey, did you see the paper today? My name is here. Like, it was a lot of ways to ask him about her name in there without saying, does the ninja know how to read? But I love Natalie Portman. Black Swan is my movie. But why they make it seem like everybody and they daddy want Maddie? I'm just like, Bob is married. Bob is bursting out of his shirt. Bob, why is you trying to get what? Like, I'm just like, Bob, what are you doing? Do you want to go to the game? Like, oh my God. I don't know why they're making it seem like everybody wants Maddie, but I will say this also goes into why I do like Maddie and understand the ambition of thing. And when we go into that newsroom, everybody they're all men except for the secretary. Like, it can't be easy for her to be trying to do this, even back when she was in high school, which would be, an earlier time, maybe the 40s. I feel for Maddie because she just wants, Maddie it's nothing wrong with being ambitious. Maddie want her piece of the pie. She want to see her name in print, and that's fine because all the men get to do that. So why not Maddie?
Nobody likes her getting brownie points trying to tie that man's shoe.
But see, I feel like that plays into the whole conversation she had with Stefan about the pretend and putting on airs, but Maddie gonna always put a little too much sauce on it. But Maddie tries to present herself as this respectable, docile woman, and that's why she bent down to tie his shoes, and she does all these things when she's interacting with these men. Maddie just gonna take it a little too far, but look, she got all the men falling at her feet, throwing roses, throwing their coats over puddles.
Absolutely. Which begs the question, why are you falling to your knees to at somebody else's feet? Girl, they serving you up on a platter. Is her name and lights and whatever her position, but no, you came in here just off the strength of really nothing and got a job, girl. You already in here. We ain't got to tie Bob's dusty shoe. Ashley?
Yeah, you said it gave the help. I felt Mad Men in her interactions in this newsroom, which was one of my favorite series of all time. Y'all, if y'all haven't watched it, go watch Mad Men. It's actually worth the watch. But yeah, Maddie is performative on all levels. She goes and she's gonna go 10 miles, right? Because she has something to prove. Maddie wants all of the attention. She wants all of the focus on her. She wants all eyes on her, and she'll eat crow for a while, right? As long as she needs to get it. Even with Milton, I feel like she's played the long game. Maddie is a master manipulator. There is nothing she says or does that I don't believe is calculated. Even in the diner with that man who's been taking her calls, right? She knew what she was saying. That was her putting him in his place in her mind. She has an air of superiority about her when she interacts. Even when we get into that old weird she and Officer Platt, Black Daniel, okay, calling him Mr. Detective. Girl, shut up. And he's eating it up. Like, it's Maddie, something in me on the inside. She just wipes the wrong way on every part of me. I can't stand anything about this heifer. And now she got a typewriter, a desk, and hopefully she about to get a phone. Because, I mean, girl, we're tired.
You better. Like, are you gonna get your own phone while you ask me if I could read?
But they still only see her as a pretty face. They really don't want her to do no real work outside of to serve them. They don't take her seriously.
D.
First, let me say shout out to Cedric, who is the one who works at the diner, because for all that, despite Maddie being very slick and very passive aggressive with that statement, he sure enough threw it right back and said, "Oh, okay, so I guess you can afford your own phone now. All right, clock it. Thank you." I was here for that, because that is the energy she deserves. And as far as this whole newspaper situation, like, we have said it before. We know how this works, and I'm just curious as to what she really expects to come out of this. And only because I've seen some of the images from the trailer. It's clear that Maddie isn't playing with the full deck either. So I'm just wondering, like, as far as her trying to have these aspirations and this quote unquote relationship and all of this, I just think the way she is trying to, I guess, rewrite her life without acknowledging the foundations of how she got to where she is now, I think that's going to be her undoing.
I just be trying with it. Something about Maddie always gives me like Master's like wife, and Daniel is giving Officer Platt is giving Mandingo. She just gave Master's whip slinging, like I'm the wife and I'm sneaking off with the Mandingo. Something about it just feels unclean. But what is clean is the 72 people here we have in this live. We'd love to see it. Let me show y'all some love. Keep running it up, and we will be right back.
Your cries, they can be heard from far and wide. It's only the two of us.
Thank you so much, D. I do what I can. I do what I can. I'm gonna do what I can. Maddie, don't you ever get on your knees again to tie Bob's shoes. It'll be a cold day before I would want to see that again. It's a cold day before I want to see this again too. Maddie wanting something more than what this could ever be. Like, this could never be that Maddie. Maddie, first of all, we have him tell, take your son to the game. For a second time, girl, just take your son. And Maddie was just feeling like, you could raise somebody. I love how she just pats herself on the back all the time. You could raise somebody for, 15, 16 years, and they could still, hate you or turn out like their dad. Like, Lord, Maddie. But what we share can never go beyond this room, Platt's guilt, and haven't you ever did anything wrong, Maddie? Maddie, oh, well, I lied about the ring, that one time. Yeah, girl, I already knew that. How slow do you think I am? I already knew you lied about that. And she also, states that her husband wasn't the first man that she slept with. And, the likes of Officer Pratt eats it up. So that means it's 3. So, but out of the 3, I'm the best. Around is me, right? I cannot stand this whole situation. But I thought it said a whole lot that Maddie is, like, she just wants to go and take this role playing a little further and be out in public. It's just like I said, any other live. Maddie, if something happens or when something happens, you are forever going to be okay. It's going to be me to take the blunt of whatever comes down on us. But Maddie just seems to want more out of this relationship and Platt other than the sex that they keep having in this room. And of course, we're going to get into Platt on that fire escape, because why? Ashley,
Maddie can go straight to the hot place, in my opinion. Go straight there directly. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Go directly to HE double hockey sticks, because be for real, he's an officer, just got a promotion. You talk about, I want to go meet in public. Let's just go and we'll pretend to be strangers. Girl, also, this is not a relationship. Let's just call this thing what it is. This is y'all just getting it in weekly, dryly, if I can say that. I will say though, I'm gonna give kudos to the shot this time, because she rode it a little bit like the rodeo show for all of the 3 seconds. And this was the most passionate that we've seen these two. I will give it up for that, but it still wasn't no chemistry. I don't even think they like each other in real life. Again, he got off on her calling him Mr. Detective, and she did that just to, I don't, Maddie just wants to be chosen, honestly. And I do think it stems from her trauma from earlier on, but she's sick and twisted in the way that it manifests throughout her life. I hate this relationship, and not because of the color lines thing. I just think that she's a freaking liability. She's so dangerous for him. But like the people in the chat said, hey, if he want to go there, this is his genre, I guess. Maybe because Cleo rejected him. She does say that in her narration, that I could have had Platt if I wanted him. And so maybe after that rejection, he went into the sea or the field of the YT women and ended up with Maddie. Yeah, but I hate this. I hate every time we see them together. Every time I hate it. It's dry. It's not sexy. It don't turn me on. It does nothing for me.
I'm not even gonna give Platt that, because he was familiar with these waters. This was not his first treading over there to the other side, to the mountain, the Caucasus. This he's been there several times. But I will say that I did feel I felt a little pinch of something for Maddie, just at how desperate she is. Because anybody with eyes could see that what he's using her for, and the fact that she's trying to grow it into something else and engage with me, talk to me, share. What else did you think you guys were going to do together? So the fact that she thought it could be something else, I'm like, oh, really, Maddie, poor thing. Nikki?
Yeah, we already know Maddie is just a typical problematic white woman. And this scene really infuriated me, because her whole thing with let's go out in public, I didn't take it as she wants something deeper. I took it as she just wants to extend the role play. She just wants to get a little hot and bothered in public and then come home and do whatever. And I feel like it's extremely dangerous for Platt. It's more dangerous for Platt than it is for her. For her to say, let's go out in public when you know that y'all being together is illegal. With them being together being illegal, obviously, I feel like he would catch the brunt of hell, not her. Like, she could cry wolf. She could say anything she wanted to say if anybody called on to what's going on between them. He's the one that's really in danger. But what really, Lord Jesus, took me out is when she was trying to ask Platt what happened, with the partner, because she saw it on the news, but he didn't want to say. And she's like, you don't trust me? Madeline, your own son don't trust you. Like, are you crazy? No, we trust you about as much as we can trust a paper parachute. Like, we trust you as much as LeBron James' forehead can trust his hairline. We cannot trust you. I could not believe she had the audacity to say, you don't trust me. Are you crazy, girl? Like, I just Madeline,
Why LeBron had to catch that straight real quick? Get with you. I'm gonna come to D, and we're gonna leave Nikki over there. D, what do you think?
I'm not sure how I'm supposed to follow that up, but yes, this whole situation. I appreciate the positivity as far as this scene, but for me, no olive oil, no Crisco, no Vaseline. I'm sorry, it's still not clicking for me. I understand, I get it. It was a tad bit more palatable than before, but it's still a no. And I said it from the beginning: driving Miss Maddie. That is the dynamic here. That seems to be Maddie's dynamic in life, but this is definitely what Platt has going on. And I you know what? I think what it comes down to, I remember what Shelby says in The Best Man Holiday when she and Quentin sleep together after the funeral. And she says, you know what, Quentin, you and I are just very, very emotional people. And we're very emotional right now. This is not a love connection. And that's really what it comes down to in this situation. Like, this is not, like, there is nothing here. These are just two manipulative, selfish, I don't know, like very loopy, very delusional people who think that by coming together, it makes them feel more significant together than they are individually. But there's nothing here. No.
It's not. And with the writing that we've gotten so far and the beautiful direction that we've gotten from Miss Alma, I am convinced that we are not supposed to like these things. We are not. Girl, run it up. I don't think there is supposed to be anything appealing about these things, because we could easily shoot this to where it could be enticing and it could be sexy. And it seems like we're going the other direction. I think we're supposed to not like this. Okay? DK freeze? No, there we go.
Yeah, okay. Because listen, why, let me tell you, Baltimore is like Gotham City, right? I'm sorry if you from B-more, but y'all know y'all like Gotham City out here in these streets, okay? It ain't changed from back in the 50s till right now in the 2020s. Why would you tell this black man to meet you at the game? All I heard in my mind was like, she trying to get him caught up for real. I hear the whispers of lynching in my ear. How come he don't hear the same thing? Because see, he think just because he got on a little blue, it then gave him some white privilege. Sir, you ain't even close to a paper bag test. So I don't know why he has delusions of grandeur in this moment. And she's just acting oblivious to the fact that he is midnight dark, and they know that this is a problem. And she like Ashley was saying, like she's trying to get conversation out of him and talk to him. Ma'am, if you want that type of relationship, go back home over there to your husband. Talk to that man that was paying all your bills, not the man that you fetishing over. Okay, this is not the time. He don't even want that from you. Okay, he is like getting a notch on his belt because like, oh, I bagged this, this high class white woman, and I climb up on the fire escape and all that foolishness. Y'all not hearing the whispers of lynching every time y'all get together, because both of them act like they be in this magical fairy tale life where it's just them two. No, she wants her a Mandingo warrior, and you think that you getting white is right and white privilege. Neither one of y'all are winning out of this situation, and I'm sick of it. I want it to end.
Oh, girl, because Ferdy thought he hit the lottery with you, girl. That commentary from Cleo was, I could have had him if I wanted him. You ain't special. I could have had him, Maddie, but I turned him down because I ain't want that because I'm with Salafi, as if that was a prize. But okay. Keep that window locked. We hear him say that several times, and we know what comes of that. But first black homicide detective, this is not good. Now we see the worst officer possible that could see him coming. Like, I'm just not understanding the use of the fire escape. Like, I don't. Is it like more incriminating? Maybe this is blocked off behind something where he thinks it's gonna be the least opportunity for him to be noticed, and we're just not seeing the street view. That way, he isn't using the front door. But for me, the only reason this man is sitting down there and he is able to see him come out is because somebody told him who was there and what time they would be there. And the only person who might know that information is old Judith. I think Judith told this man to be here. D, what do you think?
All roads lead to Judith. Now, I would be shocked if that wasn't the case. Now, we haven't seen Judith this episode, so I found that to be really interesting. But yeah, like who? I'm trying to really think in my mind, but I'm like, who would be the person to call attention to this? And we already knew it was coming. We just didn't know who or when. It was just a matter of time before somebody became aware of this situation. But I didn't know this would quite be the way, but it's not surprising at the same time. But Outside of Judith, I mean, well, I mean, Durst having a hand in this would be a massive reach. But if I'm going to throw something else out there, because he obviously has a real vendetta when it comes to Maddie. So who knows?
Nikki, is it Judith's fault?
The two characters that I'm gonna ride for is Stefan, because I'm in love with him, and Judy. I do not think Judy had anything. It's probably Milton. I think Milton is got sour grapes. Ain't that a Jewish phrase? Sour grapes? I don't know. But I think it could be Milton, but more than likely, I think this cop is just a creeper. I don't think anybody tipped him off. I think he's a creeper and he's stalking Maddie, and he just so happened to be out there to see this, because Officer Platt sneaks over there at night. They get it on and dry hump and then whatever the hell Ashley described as sex scene for a few hours. This has to be late night, like maybe right before the sun come up. I think he's just a creeper and he was out there stalking her, and he just so happened. I don't think anybody tipped him off, maybe because I just don't want Judy to be in it. Keep Judy's name out y'all mouth. She is innocent. But I think he was just a creeper and just sitting out there. But I also do feel like I need an aerial view of the apartment building, because I feel like it would make more sense for me to go out the front door. Like, I'm a cop. This is my beat. I could say I was in here doing a number of things. I think it's more suspect to be on a damn fire escape.
Well, I thought that too, but I was also thinking that with the way that the apartment is structured and it being over the diner, is Maddie the only one who lives up there? I don't know. Ashley, is it Judith because she wanted the box?
You know, I like that. I like it. She was starkly absent, like I believe Dee said. She wasn't there. You know what I mean? And I'm like, maybe she's bitter because they couldn't, bump pocketbooks anymore. I'd be here for that switch. I'd be here for Judith having a hand and being kind of diabolical. I think I would love that for this story.
Wait, because old Milton, he was absent this episode too.
Well, here's the thing. And I also, when y'all said Milton, I said, what about the son? What about Seth? He hates his mama. He hates her down bad. What if he's out here running his mouth about his mama in Negro land, as he stated last episode? Listen, at this point, they want to get caught. It's hard for me to think that detective would just all of a sudden be stalking Matt. Like, why? Again, I'm going to refer to Nikki's comment earlier. Like, there is not sunshine and gold between Maddie's dry legs. Like, there's no way that all of these people are fawning over her, climbing up fire escapes, sitting outside of her apartment at night. Like, it doesn't make, no slight to Natalie Portman. You're gorgeous in real life, but Maddie, I'm sorry, it ain't giving what needs to be gave, in my opinion, to have these people out here losing their mind. I actually think, okay, on another side of this, maybe he's just following Platt, right? Because he had something out for him. So maybe he's not stalking Maddie. Maybe he's watching Officer Platt, aka Daniel.
I love it. Ashley said, ain't no sunshine, lollipops, and ain't nothing down there. Okay?
I was just about to say what Ashley said, because I was about to say y'all looking at this all wrong. Now think about Mr. Officer here getting all these accolades. I'm solving cases. I'm bringing people in. I'm cracking this up. I'm doing all of it. People looking at me. I'm that guy right now. And you black. So what you think all these other officers are doing right now, looking at him like, oh, okay, you're that guy. You're him now, because he's walking around like I'm him. That's going to get some suspicions from other people that don't want you to be the face of the precinct in this moment. So I really think that he's the one that's being watched here. And lo and behold, let's watch him long enough to dig up some dirt, because he's a black officer and I know he's doing some dirt. And guess what? Oh, look, we're right. Yes, he is. Look at him.
I just don't. This whole scene just gave me Judith somewhere, like, she's meeting with the officer late at night. And he was like, she's not meeting with the officer, not that beautiful straight nose white passing Jewish woman. No. She's like, no, she's meeting. Watch what I tell you. Go there at this time. She's meeting with the officer. Then he went over there because that little impression he gave when he saw him coming down, it was like, oh, you gave it to him. You could have gave it to me. Everybody just want Maddie. Everybody just want Maddie. The expression on the cop's face when he saw Daniel come down, it wasn't given like, ooh, I got some information on you. No way are you finna be anybody's black homicide. Nothing. It was just like, oh, say it isn't so. You gave it to him. Girl, you could have gave it to me. That's what I got from them.
I just feel like all black people be being watched sometimes. So
oh Lord. This whole scenario here. Neither of you spoke up for me. You don't give a damn about Tessie. And this is all self-serving to recapture your high school ambitions. Slapping an unbothered, sympathizing Seth. Child, when she slapped Seth with all her little might, and he was like, and what am I supposed to do with that information? Girl, and let me go see what's on the table, because you ain't at home to cook, and I'm hungry. Seth, I don't know what Seth is becoming, but I'm worried. I'm worried. The way Seth just took that on the chin, the way he be addressing and even talking to his mama, the way he thinks, this deep resentment, loss of innocence, still rolling over in that theme, that comparison that we're getting between her and Cleo. What y'all are doing to these sons is just diabolical at this point, and I'm worried about Seth. I just want him to be an honorable man and not catch nobody's in the future, because don't be taking them slaps on the chin like that. But the nerve of Maddie to be in here upset at the fact that nobody stuck up for me when Alan Durst came over to read me my rights about not only being here and needing to leave, but don't come in here perpetrating like you just doing this because you just care so much about Tessie and finding out. This is all self-serving like you've always been. Now, granted, the scene that we get with him and Maddie in the park just begs the question as to why he is able to even come over here in my face. The audacity, like, what kind of man are you in the first place? But we need more information on that. But what we got is clearly giving, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to take it. It felt very problematic in that park. But yeah, Maddie feels very, right with her straight hair. You ain't got to spread out all of that in your hair. If you're going to be my Coretta, you got to go to the black beautician and get this stuff high comb, girl. We ain't got to do that. But yeah, this sent me, because you have no right to be feeling like this. And it was audacity to be had on both parts. But for the main reason, because Maddie felt smited that her family didn't stick up for her in that moment. Nikki, was the family supposed to stick up for you, girl? Or what was supposed to happen?
First of all, Maddie hair looks so much better. Her hair looks so much better. But Seth, oh my God. Okay. No, they were not supposed to stick up for her. But Seth is turning into I feel like he's turning more into his mother and less like his father, because he turned into a little liar when he said he feel for you didn't care his daughter was missing, so why do you feel for him now? That felt disingenuous to me. And her just about smacking the glasses off his face, and the only thing he says, oh, my food getting cold. Like that's like if you go to like beat your child and they just be like, yo, so where the Cracker Jacks at? Like, that was so insane to me. But Maddie, if you ever beg to be humping on me, you better not yell at me in public, because I'm gonna tell everybody about what you did in the woods. You better not ever. You better be so nice every time you see me. But when I first said I think it's something that the Durst guy and maybe his dad or somebody did to Maddie, I'm starting to think it's not something traumatic that happened to Maddie. I'm starting to think she did something to someone as opposed to something being done to her. It's just weird to me that even with that scene we saw, every time we see this Durst guy, he's seething at Maddie. Like his facial expressions before she gets her name in the paper with his daughter, the funeral, every time we would see him, when he looks at Maddie, it's like he wants to set her on fire with his eyes. Like, I just feel like we might be looking at it wrong, or maybe not maybe I was the only one who thought that him and his dad did something to her. But I'm starting to feel like, because he says when he's talking to her, you always wanted your name in print. You always had like this ambition. So it made me think, what did she do back then to make him feel like, oh, this fits her character and she would do anything to see her name in print. I'm starting to think she must have been the one that did something to him or his family or somebody.
It could have been. I had said in this scene, like, if she wasn't assaulted, I was like, please, Maddie, don't beat it. Because, you know, Maddie being a little fresh at times, being a little fluid, and, you know, we just wanting to have a good time. Did you sleep with this man's father? Please don't tell me you slept with this man's father. We still don't know who Seth's father is, but that would make me feel some type of way if you slept with my father. I don't know what happened, but that's the mystery that I'm counting on now that I feel like there's no way that could be Cleo. What I'm left with is wanting to know Maddie's history and why she is the way she is and why this man is so mad. And I completely understood Seth saying that he sympathized with Seth, not so much the Tessie situation, because, you know, he didn't give a damn about that, because why we got to bury him the same day. But just as another person who has a problem with my mother and is disgruntled, I sympathize with him because I don't like your ass either. D?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Seth as well, because clearly his experiences, just from his awareness, and who knows how long that's been, like, his awareness, who knows how long that's been going on. But I feel like already something, I don't want to say this because I don't want this to be the case, but I'm worried that things might be tipping into like the makings of a potential sociopath, because it's just like the way he is I don't know, like I'm hoping this isn't a situation where we have some and it may not be that serious, but I'm hoping there are no like Stefan parallels here, and that like this whole relationship with the mom isn't, you know, indicative of a deeper issue or another issue that's developing as we go on. Because yes, he's becoming, I don't know, the energy is getting a little sinister to me. But I understand him being over his mother, but I'm hoping it just stays there. I was cracking up at Maddie pulling up to Juanita's bump and curl to get her hair done. Like I was not really prepared for that. But it was funny because again, we see her life and Cleo's lives like crossing paths without actually, you know, physically them actually seeing each other. So I thought that was interesting as well. And I agree with Durst or Alan. The whole thing with him, I need more. And there's a lot, of course, where we're going to discover as far as the mystery, but that has been the one that has just been, you know, gnawing at me so much. I'm just like, what is it we don't know? And I'm like, how much of this, you know, hubris you have, how much of that is justified versus you being, you know, like having this sense of arrogance or this sense of dominance or this sense of aggression because of, you know, like whatever else. I want to know. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be something that happened between them, because although he did lose a child, the anger that he displayed before her, like that's like old and new. Like he just like really laid into her, like, I don't want to see you. You need to get, like, I don't even want you in my face. I don't want to hear your name. None of that. Like you had to dig up something old for you to have that kind of animosity towards somebody. And there she goes, sitting up there looking at the blank stare, looking like, well, I don't know. What did I do? Trying to pretend to be innocent in front of everybody, and then displacing her anger that she has for him onto her own child. She is a hot mess, and she's unraveling around everybody who's supposed to be in her inner circle. That's why she got to go live over there with the black people, because see, she don't want them to see how she's unraveling and how her whole life is blowing up right in front of her face. And see, they see it because they know her. She had to go be around some people that don't know how shady she really is.
Oh, Ashley?
Cleo said it now, and I'm gonna listen to my good sis, because she said this back when she had some sense in her narration. She said, Maddie, you want to tell everybody's story but your own. My thing is, if this predator comes up to me, and I don't care if it's at Hanukkah service, I don't care if it's at Tessie's memoriam, whatever, you would never speak to me like this unless there's something else going on behind the surface, right? So here's the thing I also, guys, want you to remember. Back, I believe in episode 1, we see a flashback of Maddie, right? And she and who, it seems like it's Alan. They're cleaning up some sort of blood. Maddie is sinister. She has done something sinister. I've said it all along. I'm a stand beside it. She did something very, very wrong. Is he a predator? Yeah, I still think Alan is a terrible human being for whatever reason, not just this outburst. But if Maddie has been the Maddie that we see now, she is still a master manipulator. She did use Tessie's story. And like Alan even says, you've always wanted your name in print, Maddie. Like she has always wanted this. I think Tessie is just a vehicle, but I also agree with Kay. This isn't an anger just about his child. This runs deep. So I don't know what she said after their romp in the woods. I don't know if she said something, because right now she's not saying anything. This is the most quiet we've ever seen Maddie in a situation. And I don't know. Do an expose on Alan, because I'm with Nikki. If he did this to me, I'm airing you out in front of all of the community in this here services. I'm going to tell it all. How dare you talk to me after what you did to me in them woods 20, 30 years ago, or however long it was. But yeah, I'm interested to see what her story is, because I think she was up to no good. She did something terrible, and he either witnessed it or it affected him in some way. It could have been that no good daddy of his. I see the comments.
Alan got up and she said, "That's why I slept with your father." Then he walked off, and then they never let that go again. Let me see. I'm gonna come to Kay. Kay, what is Officer Platt's full name? A, Freddie Platt, B, Freddie Platt, C, Frida Platt, or D, Freddie Platt?
Is A and D the same thing?
I need an answer, Kay.
I'm gonna go with A, simply because a D I feel like they only use when it comes to Freddy Krueger. So make A.
I can always count on Kay to get it wrong. I even put that man's name all the way back here, just so y'all could see it. That is his name, because I thought it was such a peculiar name. I've never really heard Ferdy for somebody's name, and they made it a point to say his name a lot in this episode. He wasn't just Platt or Officer Platt; he was Ferdy in this episode. But no, Kay, it is B. Ferdy.
Look, that's what happened when you watch stuff at 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's all right, Kay. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one.
You did that on purpose.
Everybody's gotten a question. And I'm trying the easiest questions, Kay. Where did Stefan get a lighter? Delusional, unhinged, and a disregard for human life, capable of this but not killing Tessie. I like the dimension of Stefan's character, because there's clearly some depth and intellectual there, and some intelligence. But this here, this diabolical stuff, this poor man in this old school 60s polyester fleece Christmas suit, this Santa suit, and then set this man on fire as his route to get closer to the love of his life and his mind, old Maddie. Actually, I'm gonna come to you, because you and Nikki, y'all be riding for old Stefan here. We could do this, but he didn't kill Tessie. You don't think
he didn't kill? I don't think he unalived that baby. I do not think he did it. Free him, and he freed himself, because at the end of the day, check these people. Listen, check these people. You got him in this insane asylum. You need to be checking them books. You need to be checking to see what he's got in his hands. Why does he have a lighter? I mean, he got good sense. He lit him up and walked out the door. He said, he actually looked back to survey the bedlam and chaos that he caused, stuck his foot out, took his time, and walked out, and ended up in Maddie's apartment. Listen, you play stupid games to win dumb prizes.
It's just not attempted murder.
Sorry to this man. He did what he had to do to get out.
I'm not
and have the conversation that needed to be had. It's an insane asylum. He's unhinged. I never said he's not unhinged. He's burning Maddie's picture right there. But I think it's too on the nose for him to be the actual unaliver of Tessie. I don't think he did it. I don't. He did this man, so he's gonna be, locked up or gas chambered or whatever. But I don't think he took out Tessie. I don't.
So if he didn't take out Tessie, I would love to know who you think did take out Tessie.
Oh my goodness. It could be that weird detective. It could have been Reggie. It could have been somebody we know. It could be somebody we haven't even met yet. Just a gross predator in the area. But for whatever reason, I just don't feel like Stefan did it. I don't.
I didn't either until he started setting folks on fire. Nikki, you be riding for Stefan too. What's happening here?
I think there's a method to the madness. I think, look where they are. This person he lit on fire probably be abusing them people in there, abusing his power. And I'm riding with Stefan. He is illuminating. I'm so obsessed with him. When they was dragging him out of that water after he baptized himself, that was a glorious scene. That scene was so amazing. But I think Stefan is gonna outlive everybody. I think Stefan got more marbles in his head than Cleo and Maddie and Reggie and everybody, and he gonna outlive them all. And I thought this break scene was really good. Like Ashley said, when he is literally just calmly, smoothly, coolly, slowly walking to, and I was sitting here like, baby, you gonna let the door close? He's sitting here like, you know what? I got time. Like, I'm finna look back, see, stick my foot out. I'm just like, but I was confused, and I'm glad you put on the slide, where did Stefan get the lighter? I thought I missed something, because I was like, baby, who gave him a lighter? Like, how in the world do you get a lighter in this place? I don't know where that came from. But again, that's why I think it's a method to the madness, because them guards and all the orderlies and the people that be in these places like this, they do not be on the up and up. They be abusing these patients. So I'm not putting nothing past whatever ghetto Santa Claus did.
Y'all just gonna put abuse allegations on these poor girls. We didn't see a thing. we didn't see one thing. Now I see, because that's what I thought too. I really did not think that it was him, and I thought more so that we would be leaning towards somebody else or Reggie, but we haven't seen anybody else, and I just haven't collectively seen anything that would put Reggie in any position to where he would have to kill Tessie. Like, but y'all gonna make excuses for this man. I can't believe y'all. Okay.
Nikki, we're gonna have a conversation later about your attraction to him. That will be a whole nother. We may have to do a random live for that when y'all hit the notification bell. This deserves a conversation. But although I told y'all he ain't wrapped too tight, he been experimented on. He be doing some weird stuff with them fish. I have worked in a mental hospital, and Santa has never came there. So I'm pretty sure he was triggered in some type of way. Why are you in there with a Santa suit? It is beyond me. Why would you go in there like that? Why would you wear something so flammable? Something with loose hanging fabric. They could have snatched you with that. That's something about that don't even sit right with me. I believe that he's a little demented, but does he give like serial killer, snatch up children and
how can y'all do this?
Okay, it's different types of crazy. Okay, it's different types of crazy.
Absolutely not. With what we get here and the way he came at Maddie in that apartment, we're gonna say he's not capable of killing a child.
He didn't kill Maddie. He didn't hurt Maddie either.
He didn't even try to hurt her. He thought that they was gonna be together. She saw him the pictures while he in the lockup, and he thought that they was gonna be together. He said, "I'm getting out of here. I'm breaking out because I'm gonna go see my woman. She came to visit me. She sent me letters and all this kind of stuff." He was trying to go have a relationship with her.
With pictures. With pictures.
The way this whole situation could have went left,
but it didn't.
But it didn't.
Like he went and played hopscotch with Maddie and left.
He was trying to lay up.
He did not attack Maddie. Hold on now. He did not attack Maddie.
If you are coming into my apartment and I did not let you in, you ain't Officer Platt. You broke in here, even though the window was probably open. You broke in here You came at me, Maddie, all on the floor, scared for her life. Maddie, first of all, put herself in this situation, but that makes no excuse as for him being in here and pursuing her the way that he did. I didn't know what he was going to do to Maddie. Then
He was trying to come lay up. That's what he was trying to do. He didn't come there to attack her. He said, my girlfriend came to visit me. She brought me pictures. She came to, ain't nobody even came into my mom. Mama ain't even came in here to talk to me. And she did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on out of here and me and her can be together. Because we locked in. He thought they was locked in. She listened to my story. Don't nobody listen to me but them fish. And the first human that listened to him, he had to go and seek out. He thought he had a little girlfriend. And so y'all mad at him for wanting love?
Getting into the conversation there where they're speaking on forgiveness and say, you know, do you want forgiveness, Maddie? Matter of fact, do you forgive me? All of that little banter in there. And also him calling her out in the beginning. Him, making this out to be more than what it was, or going this far to break out and go meet the lights of Maddie. I understand that, but you can't put all of this stuff in my face and tell me that, this innocent, poor young creature. Hell no, D.
So I am falling somewhere in the middle on this because, I don't necessarily want to put Stefan in anyone's electric chair. But I also do not have any personal affinity for his drawers. You know what I'm saying? So as other folks on the panel might. But I do think there is more to his character and more to what he knows in relation to Tessie now. And the thing is, there are levels to madness and insanity. I'm not saying that the potential to do something like that, if you can kind of flinch and not burn people up. But I do think it is possible to want to do harm to one type of person and that not necessarily extend to children. And I think there is a connection involving him, and it's just a matter of what that involvement is. I don't think it's as far as him being the one to actively do something to Tessie, but I do think either in a secondhand manner or indirectly, he has an involvement with the Tessie situation. It's just not as direct as that.
Ciao. All right. These weren't the answers I was expecting. There's no Stefan gives me, he's been through some stuff and somebody didn't care about his innocence, and maybe possibly he couldn't have cared about Tessie's if it did go that route. Even if he didn't do anything to Tessie, this is completely inappropriate, and I was really glad that this situation did not go left, and hopefully this is a lesson learned to Madeline to move a little differently and put her safety first in situations and not be using her feminine wiles and pretty privilege to get ahead, because it could come back to bite. But he leaves after a romantic peck on the hand. I just can't with this. I was so glad that this did not escalate. But we leave this and we get here. Not y'all all swooning over Stefan. Oh, Mama, I needed you. Cleo's misplaced anger. Cleo feels like she's to blame for her father's disappearing, and the plan is completely in motion. Now, I thought for 2 seconds Cleo was going to strangle her mama with this scarf, because, baby, what you doing? She got real tight up on her mama neck with that scarf. Misplaced is a strong word, because we do find out that when everything went down, her mama kind of recluded, and she was just kind of in herself, probably depressed, thinking about what happened, about the father just leaving her there alone to raise Cleo. And she wasn't there supporting Cleo, and she didn't tell Cleo outright that it wasn't your fault that he left. I'm sure she was made aware about the money and the bet that was being placed. But yeah, Cleo is very tortured and hurt, and I want some happiness for Cleo. I really do. But back up off your mama neck with that scarf. I'm still here. I still love you, and I stayed. Like, girl, dang, get off my neck. Ashley, did you think she was gonna strangle her mama? Just a little bit, just real quick. A little bit.
I didn't. And people were in the comments for the recap saying the same thing. I didn't see that. I saw Cleo as just hurt, and I saw this as Cleo's goodbye. Right? She's making her rounds, and she's saying goodbye, but she's also telling her mama some of the things she's been wanting to say her whole life. Like, I needed you to tell me it wasn't my fault. I felt like you blamed me. You know what I mean? I was, taking care of myself for all that time. You were in your bedroom, sleep or doing whatever you were doing, and I needed you. I actually really liked this moment, and I also liked the awareness that the mama had. Baby, what's wrong? Talk to me about it. I know that there's something deeper than that, right? When Slappy comes with his weird macaroni and cheese, which I thought was so strange. These wounds run deep. These father issues, these mother wounds that people have, they last well into adulthood, especially if they're unaddressed. What made me most sad, though, about this wasn't necessarily the goodbye. And while I feel some sympathy for Cleo, who I really feel for are these babies. I feel like she did not leave a plan for them. She's been like very selfish in this moment. It wasn't about making arrangements for their well-being. Okay, this is what's going to happen to me. I'm out of here. But in no way was she ever like, okay, my one son is sick on the brink with his sickle cell. Okay, mama, if anything ever happened to me, could you take, I didn't see her anytime making arrangements for these boys, knowing that they daddy is untrustworthy. Like, that's the part that made me sad more than Cleo done lived her little life. She didn't got involved with these people, and it's bad, and she didn't deserve it, but these babies are innocent. So, or were innocent, which goes into the theme of the episode. That's who I felt for.
What hurt me was the fact that we have the likes of her mom or child Slappy, who we're going to get to, asking her outright what's wrong. Tell them, like, the fact that she can't even confide in her husband or her mother just goes to show how alone she's felt all her life. And it's just sad. Nikki?
Yeah, I was very much here for her strangling her mama. Just a light strangle, just a light. I feel like Cleo had to contend with two absentee parents, one parent physically absent and another parent emotionally absent. And I don't think, in that moment, her mama said what's wrong, but I think her mama is pretty blind. Your daughter has been hurting her entire life, and you just, haven't seen it? I don't know. I don't like that. I didn't care for her mother with this scene, because I feel like her mother has been pretty emotionally blind to her own daughter that's right in her face. And I kind of find it odd to say that she didn't make arrangements for her kid. Why do I have to make arrangements when they got a whole daddy? Like, you need to that's their daddy. I'm gonna leave them kids on the daddy doorstep. That is his offspring. My mama raised her kids. She is not here to raise me. Nah, that's the daddy. So he get to still just skate and do comedy while the mama take care of the grandma, take care of the kids. No, he need to step up.
You can totally see the people on this panel that are without child. Happens all the time. Happens all the time, to where, of course, we can see throughout the show that Cleo has the brunt of the responsibility to take care of the children. Even getting into, I think, my slide after this, where he shows up with that personal pan of macaroni and cheese. That they're a personal pan and a fur coat, have you? Welcome back, Slappy. I got a gig and coming in here with your pimp fur coat, but you got a personal pan of mac and cheese and a couple of rock'em sock'em robots for the kids. But you made sure to get yourself a fur coat, though. Even when he is expressing, what's wrong, and, oh, Cleo, you could just come home. Cleo literally says, you know what, the boys miss you too. He said, you know what, fine. The boys can come too. Wait, excuse me? Reggie, fine. He literally says, all right, fine. He asked Cleo to come home. I miss you. Don't you miss this? Don't you miss us? You look good, girl. There's some cookie in my pocket. Remember I bought you them panties that one time? I want you to come home. Well, no, the boys miss you too. Well, what about them? Yeah, I guess they can come. Yeah, all right, fine. They can come. He literally said, fine, they can come too. This is not the man that you leave your kids with.
Well, that's the man she had the kids with.
Yeah,
when does Slappy have to step up and actually be a father? Even after Chloe leave and disappear, he still ain't got to step up and parent his kids.
I always thought, like, I'm really going to throw Cleo on the ground. I swear I thought Cleo was going to take them boys. I thought, if nothing else, Cleo was going to take her boys. If we are really going to go down the trifling path like our father and disappear and leave our kids, Oh, girl, you're over. Okay?
It's always this picture from Goosebumps that keep me every time.
Puppet he is, Slappy.
he said he got a gig. He ain't say he got like a real job, a career, a retirement plan, 401k, 40 hours a week, regular hours, none of that. A gig means what you get on stage on the weekends. Is it a one-time thing? Did they pay you up front? Is this a normal thing? She didn't even ask questions about the gig. This is the man that you're leaving your kids with him, and you didn't get no details about the job. You just, I got a gig, and he came in there with this coat trying to look all fly because he'd been looking raggedy for a while. And that's all the information that you need, Cleo, to leave the children there. Now, you know you got to do better than that, ma'am. I can't. And then how you come up in there with a whole family full of people with dry soul food and don't nobody even really want it that much. Okay. Who is that feeding, Slappy? What are you?
Baby, this is the 60s and you got a fresh check. Everybody know you're supposed to bring a fresh honey ham. What you come
exactly? You bring home exactly the whole hog, the whole turkey. He is so immature. So, you know what, Slappy? That picture is actually, I would trust the Slappy dummy over him at this point.
No, I love my peeps in my DMs and in the chat. Somebody just sent me a message and it was like, I'm watching, but for whatever reason they're blocked out of the thing, and it's not who y'all think it is. But they said with the person on the roof with the syringe, overdose, how do we know that isn't the person that has put that blue coat put on them, and that's who we threw in pretending that it's Cleo and it's not Dora or the beautician. It could be that person too.
Well, that was a man.
Well, hey, well, we know that. That's what I'm seeing in my phone. I just wanted to mention it. It's like, yeah, we didn't consider the man with the they are like currently at this time, he has a body to dispose of. So could it have been that man in the chair with the syringe and Dora gets to live to fight another day? Or the beautician?
Anatomically, that's very odd, but I'm
yeah,
gonna
that
let him
make
cook.
no sense.
I'm gonna let him cook though. He thought he on something.
D, are you here for Slappy in this situation? And what did you think about the conversation that she had with her mother?
Well, if there's one thing I know about this show, it's that the unhealed trauma train will always arrive right on schedule. I was not shocked at all about this because, to be honest, it was clear that Cleo and her mother had a contentious relationship anyway. It just seemed like anytime she would come in, it wasn't like, oh, hey, what's going on? Or it all just felt like she was barely tolerating her. So I wasn't surprised to find out that she just kind of disengaged as a parent. And the fact that she was, having to be honest with her. That Cleo was being honest with her mother about that. But I thought the same thing, what you said about but now, instead of dealing with the trauma or facing the trauma, you are repeating the trauma and visiting that on your children. So I'm just like, way to pass down generational curses and trauma as well. You're doing a great job. Very unfortunate. And as far as
Slappy.
You know what? I'll just keep it simple. Slappy is a crappy pappy. Done.
The end.
Put it on a t-shirt. Slappy is a crappy pappy. Oh, crappy, terrible. When he said, fine, the kids can come, they can come. Are you gonna come? Because if you can't come, then the boys can't either. Trash. This fur coat, this pimp fur coat just took the cake for me. How dare you walk in here with this in this dry pan of mac and cheese? Boy, where's the ham? We end off here. This is not Cleo. Would you want to run away with me? Now we leave that off with Mr. Would you want to run away with me? Clearly, either somebody called or Maddie called because they are instantly on Stefan's tail and they are able to harass him. As soon as they ran up on him, and we know all of what he's done, I was like, they would have shot a brother, but that was probably just me. We also have on the other side of the lake, Reggie dumping Cleo's body, in which he falls back and breaks his whole leg on this boat. in the mix of this, we also have Cleo waiting for Reggie. And I think we've already discussed Reggie's one tear that he was crying. And those tears absolutely not being for Cleo. Either they are for his situation, himself, or for the likes of Dora. But I think we are all on the same page of this absolutely not being Cleo. D, I'm gonna come to you first. What did you think about them apprehending the likes of Stefan in the condition that we leave Reggie in?
Yeah, we already know in any other circumstance what would have been going on here. I wasn't sure what Stefan was about to do for a second. Like, he was under that water for a little too long, so I wasn't sure. But I mean, he had, I guess in his eyes, he has redeemed himself. He has restored himself spiritually. So I guess we have to see what that means as far as how he plays into the story going forward. Does this involve confession? Because there are things that still have not been said. As far as Reggie, I mean, was I supposed to be upset that his leg just tried to like hit? No, because I'm just saying, like, you all this chaos, you've been at least a primary contributor to. So I'm just kind of like, you probably deserve worse than that. So boo-hoo, too bad, so sad.
Okay.
Listen, that was my favorite part of the whole show, with him laying in that boat. Because I'm like, how's he gonna get off the boat with that leg? How is he
don't go through the water? Like, oh,
what is this next move with that leg looking that way?
I could just make it back to shore.
And he can't even yell and scream about the leg because of the situation that he's in. He's just laying there, his leg bit. Yep, y'all remember them little bendable little things, the little gummy looking that you can bend. 90s, people that grew up in the 90s know about that. When he just laying there with that leg bent, I'm like, what is your next move? What are we gonna do after this? Who knows that you're here to help you? I'm sorry, that was my favorite scene of the whole episode. And I'm with D. I don't feel sorry for you, not one bit. That's where you should have had the tears at, because I don't know how he's gonna get off of that boat.
Deserving, because he's been skating way too long in the show. You can't skate no more, physically and literally. Nikki,
seeing Reggie in that boat. It really reminded me of David Allen Greer, Tales from the Hood, when that little boy took that piece of paper and bit his leg. I would be very happy if Reggie just stay in that boat with that broken leg and just die, like just starve to death in the middle of the ocean. But I will say though, I had to kind of give props to Reggie, because I ain't seen nothing like this since that lady was giving birth silently in a quiet place. To break your whole leg and not make a damn sound. you know that nigga is scared of the cops, because he ain't make a sound when he broke his dang leg. But I will also say, when it comes to him putting this body in the lake, and that there's some kind of head scarf or bonnet or something, the hair is covered up, we can barely see the face. I do feel like Cleo was already headed out of town. I don't think Reggie would cry over Cleo, but I don't think he wants to kill her. So I could see Reggie very much either using some random woman we've never seen body, Dora, or whoever. I definitely don't think it was the man on the roof, because that wouldn't make sense. If the point of putting the blue coat on, I would think, is so that the cops can think this is the girl, the black woman that they've been looking for. So I don't think it would make sense for it to be a man. But I also want to acknowledge Kay in the comments saying that Reggie had a fake Denzel and Glory moment when he dropped that one tear.
Oh my!
We got that picture in the corner with it.
Wow.
Maybe. Hey, Ashley?
Yeah. It tickled me too. I felt like though Reggie looked like a chalk outline. And I was like, is this what we're going to see later on? That's what it gave for me personally. But I did think that this scene was interesting. And throughout the show, this episode, we saw a lot of moments where you notice audibly how the tempo changed drastically. And this was one of those moments when we saw Stefan running through the woods. It was such a juxtaposition to like blackness and whiteness. And it almost made me think of runaway slaves, right? So when he gets there and talking about the slavery of sin and oppression, and this is his new life after being baptized, I do want to know more about Stefan's story. I still don't think he's guilty though. But as far as it not being Cleo, it's not her. I don't know if he found somebody on the street. I'm inclined to think it's Dora. He found Dora OD'd, right? Because Cleo said that she wasn't going to go with her. Dora felt like she had no way out. This was the end of her rope. And so he's mourning Dora in this moment and like, okay, I'm going to help Cleo get out. But I definitely don't believe that is Cleo that he's dumping. And just to kind of go back just a tad bit, I wouldn't trust Slappy with a gerbil, with a goldfish. I don't care if he made them kids with her. Ain't no way. She needed to make arrangements. He's unreliable. Also, and this is a question for the panel for you guys, is this whole series the case of an unreliable narrator? Does Cleo have something out against Maddie and is painting her this way? Or do y'all think that this is the truth of it all that we're getting?
I don't believe nothing at this point from Cleo or Maddie. I think they both in the same raggedy boat. Them three mice in that boat, it was that beautician, Maddie, and Cleo. Like, absolutely not. Both of them are very unreliable at this point. But Maddie more so than Cleo, because y'all don't believe nothing Maddie say. I'm with Seth. I sympathize.
Yeah, I said on a previous episode that I don't know how much we can rely on the narration, the flashbacks. I just feel like it's Apple TV. They did the changeling. I don't trust nothing they showing us. Like, I ain't gonna believe it till it play out.
Oh Lord. All right, last question here before we end it off. Coming over here to Ashley. What kind of pie did Maddie take to work to schmooze the boss? Key lime pie, Boston cream pie, lemon meringue pie, or Miss Minnie's special pie?
Girl, now listen here. You would give me the question that I don't have no clue about. But just based on the way you impersonate Maddie in that accent, I'm going to say Boston cream pie. B, but I don't know.
So you think it was Boston? It was Boston cream pie. It was not. It was C, lemon meringue.
Oh.
You little Jeopardy. Right. It was not. It was not that. But everybody gets one. Well, we did well. I love these questions. I just knew you was gonna have an answer.
I thought I was too. I had the answer to all the other ones. I ain't know this one.
Boston cream pie. No, it was that good old that Bob was like, I'm gonna take that. She's like, yeah, I don't trust you with that pie. But yeah, you trusted him enough to get on your knees in front of all these people in this office and tie his shoes. Ending off the episode. What do I think is coming next in episode 5? Like, we better not see Cleo lingering and be more. If she ain't en route somewhere, because that's definitely not her. They better not just skate from Reggie being out of that situation. I really want to see how he gets up and moves that leg and pedals his way to freedom. I want to know how he gets himself out of that situation. The whole situation with Maddie, I want to see the aftermath of her encounter with Stefan. I want to see what happens to Stefan in Old Ferdy. I want to know if he gonna have some problems in the workplace, because we saw you, bruh. That's pretty much what I'm looking forward to. D, what about you?
I am just ready for the receipt. I know I've been saying that continuously. Like, I need receipts on Maddie and Alan Durst. I need the history. I know we still have, we have 3 more episodes after this one, but I'm just like, I need to know. I hope they don't save it for like the last 2 or the last one. But I'm just like, that has been killing me. And I agree. Like, I need to like see Reggie like in full struggle mode, like getting crawling and struggling and clawing his way to the shore. I'm here for that as well.
Okay.
You know what? I don't even want to guess. I'm just gonna go to the book because see, they about to get on my nerves, and I need to know. I need to this Pat relationship to be over. I need to know. I need to know what's gonna happen with him. I need to know how Reggie gonna get off this boat. I'm just gonna have to go to the book on this one.
Oh wow, Kate is impatient. Nikki.
I feel like what's next in episode 5 is that instead of all the expectation and responsibility being on Cleo to take care of the kids, finally it will be on Slappy. If you just leave Slappy in that apartment with them kids and it ain't nobody to take care of him but Slappy, and he has no choice but to finally be a parent, I want Slappy to have to finally not be able to skate and out of his responsibility and take care of the kids that he made, as opposed to it having to be on Cleo's shoulder. Cleo got to worry about living life and not being dead. So she got to get out of town. So I need Slappy to be a father for once in his life.
So what you're saying is, Nikki, you want us to open the episode with the kids being with Slappy, just for Slappy to drop them off with their grandma.
I know grandma ain't gonna be there. There will be no choice but for I want Slappy to have no choice but to take care of them kids.
Ashley.
Never gonna have. He gonna drop them kids. I said it in the chat. He gonna drop them kids off. Watch. I can't do this. It's too much for me. I'm following my dream. I'm living my truth. I gotta follow my dream.
Oh, mama, it ain't like her to act like this. Until she come back, I'm gonna leave the kids with you. I gotta give. See you later.
Listen, looking like Blue Bear Pimp. That's exactly what he's going to do. For episode 5, I'm with D. I want to get down to Maddie's history. I need to see some truth come out. And I also want to see how she's going to approach this case, right? Because we know that part of the issue and angst between she and Cleo is the idea that she went trying to uncover secrets to make a name for herself, similar to what she did with Tessie. So I'm excited to see that part. I definitely want to see Shell's world start to unravel and fall down. I want to know what happened to the hairdresser. We have so many unanswered questions that I need answers to. I need all that next episode.
All that. And that's on Cleo. We absolutely need all of that. You guys in the chat have been really, really amazing. Let me play y'all a little thank you, and then we're going to come back and let everybody let you know where you can go to support them and find them on a regular basis. All right. I'm going to come to the D Movie Man first to let y'all know what he got going on and where y'all could go to support him. Please do remember that we are all on social media, all on Instagram, all have a page, and everybody's link is below in the description box. Go ahead, D.
Hey everyone, this is D Movie Man, fellow cinephile, popcorn addict, and emerging film critic, coming to you with reliable recaps, reviews, and reactions. Some of you may be familiar with the tagline, some of you may not, but either way, that is the crux of what I do here on YouTube. I love discussing film. I love getting into reactions to trailers here and there, also recapping some of my favorite television series, and of course, including this one. I am currently in the midst of a a live stream season. I just had a horror opening scenes live stream with the ladies this past Friday. Just yesterday, I did a live stream where we discussed with Big Ken Talks, where we discussed the abundance of cameos in Deadpool and Wolverine. That was an awesome, really fun time. And then, of course, Lady in the Lake here as well. I also recently did a spoiler review for Deadpool and Wolverine, and also the M. Night Shyamalan film Trap, which I had a lot of thoughts about. So yes, please feel free to support, to do all the things that YouTubers need you to do to thrive and grow on this platform. I would definitely appreciate it. And for everyone who has supported, including the creators of this series, I'm very, very grateful. And I'm also grateful to you, Tyra, for providing this platform and just allowing these awesome things to be happening as a result of that. Very, very grateful.
I do what I can. Thank you, D. You know. Nikki, I am going to come to you next for the exact same thing. Let the people know what you have coming up and where they need to go over to be supporting you.
Yes, I am Nikki, and you can find me on King Nikki TV channel. I also just started IG for King Nikki TV, so go over there. I am on a schedule on my channel. Tuesdays is new content. Thursdays is our watch along days. And I currently have a poll up on the channel for what we should do for our next watch along. We have almost 60 people that were putting in their votes for the poll. Right now, It 2017 is winning. So all 60 of y'all better pull up, run up the watch along when we do It Chapter 2 on Thursday. Saturdays is our horror Saturdays with KillerCon. And Sundays, of course, is Lady in the Lake. And I'm so happy to be on the panel because y'all know I had to beg Tyra to let me be on the Lady in the Lake panel. So I'm just happy to be here. Okay, thank you.
We need that. We absolutely did not need that. Kay Bly, I am going to come to you next. Let the people know what's up. Don't do that.
Shout out to the author of this book and the creator of this series, and Apple TV. Y'all always come through for me. Tomorrow, House of the Dragon season finale. I will be here representing House Targaryen. Y'all know how I do on Mondays, okay? I'll be Ashley, I need you to be on the same page tomorrow. House Targaryen, House of the Dragon season finale is going down. Come on in Tuesday. Y'all know we got Interview of the Vampire. Y'all got to show up. Yeah, we really going to be going in on Louis this next episode. So come on in for that. Saturday's horror panel. Y'all, the schedule for August is full. We got a lot coming up the whole month of August. Reasonable Doubt is coming out. Bel Air is coming out. There's documentaries coming out. Deliverance is at the end of the month. Again, Long Legs and Oddity and Trap is all on my watch list. Come on over. Come on over. Just hit that subscribe button. We got a lot going on this month. Y'all want to be a part of it. And hit the notification bell.
Love it. KK said, come on over, baby. That's what Kay said. Last but not least, my girl Ashley with the sweet perspective. Let the people know what you have coming up, girl.
Y'all, everything, and y'all done heard it because Kay capped it all. The only addition is be on the lookout for some new content this week. So make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you're subscribed to everyone's platform because we're getting into some reality TV. The Braxtons will be back out. We'll definitely be talking about that, and Love is Blind UK, y'all. So if y'all are into reality, that's coming in addition to all of our weekly scheduled lives. But Tyra, thank you so much for hosting, and y'all be sure to subscribe to all of these beautiful people on the panels pages. Support, show love, go follow them on all the socials. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here.
We do, and you know that this is a team effort. I'm nothing without my community. We will definitely be back here every Sunday moving forward to discuss Lady in the Lake, and we hope to see you here. And we hope you bring a +1. You know, there's no exclusivity over here. You can bring a friend. You can bring another friend. You can bring 6 people if you want. You can sit here if you want. You can bring whoever you want to, and we will be here to entertain you. But we will definitely see you guys Tuesday as far as I am concerned. And y'all have a good night. I know.